Hey folks, welcome back to the Rockford Ordinance. This has been a video long coming. Not that it was hard to make, well, I guess it was a little bit, but I've been telling you on my live stream and all that I'm going to bring you a video on the building of our new homestead. You know, I could consider it like just the building of our new house, right? But it's not. It truly is a homestead, and the thought of that's been a long time coming, I guess. I'm going to back up a little bit, and I don't mean to bore you. Stick in. You're going to see all kinds of good stuff, including some firearm stuff, some hunting stuff, and some unbelievably huge deer. But hang in there and you'll see it all. I'm a city kid, born and raised in Chicago. 20 years ago, moved out to the country. My kids raced motorcycles. We needed some room for them to practice all the time. They were a phenom, and they just needed to ride all the time. So I wanted a big open field. I bought 5 acres and built a racetrack. And after the racing was done and over with, I got to thinking, boy, I wish I had really planted some trees here, maybe some apple trees, some blue spruce, did a garden, this and that. I just had this big open empty land doing nothing with it, right? I used to be able to shoot there, but then a neighbor built behind us, couldn't shoot anymore, so it was like, what do I do? And then along comes Illinois' assault weapon ban and the rest of the craziness that went with that state. And I thought, one day I came home from work and I said, honey, I'm done. We are moving. I don't care if it's 10 feet over the border, but we're going to Wisconsin permanently. And she said, all right, let's go. And we put the house up for sale. I thought it might be too late with the economy and whatnot, but lo and behold, it sold for good money. And we had some acreage picked out. That's the other half of this. It's really hard. You think you can just go buy a piece of land. Land's everywhere, right? No, it's really hard to find the right piece of land. There's a few things that go into that we'll cover in a second, but we found the right piece of land. And don't you know, the day the offer came in on the house we were selling, I went to call the realtor on the new piece and say, we'll take it, and put our offer in, and it sold that morning. So I was a little depressed. That was like 16 acres. And I was down in the dumps because nothing was going to meet that, everything that property had. Well, lo and behold, we finally found one, and it's a lot more acres than I wanted. It's like almost 70. And there's tillable land, and there's woods, and just everything right, and we'll get into that. But so we sold the house. It took a long time to get to closing on the new property and all, and you think, well, let's go, right? Well, then you got to get a construction loan, and that drags out, and then you got to start with a builder and start developing a plan and all this, and you think, well, I'm going to buy the property and jump in, and we'll be building in a couple weeks. Well, here we are now, let's see, 5 months later, and we're just getting going. I've been telling the guys on my live stream that the driveway's going in next week. Well, drive still isn't in, but we have access to it. So let's talk real quick about the property itself. I wanted some tillable acreage. For now, we'll lease it to the farmer that's currently farming it. But I can take part of it, make gardens, plant what I want. I can put little food plots for deer, etc. Whatever we want to do, right? And we have wooded areas. It supports wildlife, gives you fuel if you wanted to heat with it. The property enables me to have barns to put equipment in, and all these things. You want water on the property. We do have a creek bed where a creek will flow in times of heavy rain and whatnot, but plenty of water. Will be on our own well, so we'll be self-sufficient there. And then as you put the house together too, you want to think about, can I do some alternative type of things like maybe solar or wind, or can I pump water from the well on a hand well? Basically, maybe thinking about being off the grid. And do you have the right exposures and all this? So you want to make sure your property is well-rounded. What are your neighbors like? What's around you? How's it going to get built up over the years? Would you be taxed out of an area? That type of thing. We can do a whole video just on that, so I'm just brushing the surface of things to think about, but this fit all the parameters. And we'll show you in the video, but the nicest thing I think is the way it's set up. The house is so far back that you won't even see it from the road. It'll be just a nondescript gravel farm road going back to nowhere as far as people passing on the road. So you keep prying eyes away, that type of thing. It's also set down a ways, so shooting, having a range, that type of thing, no problem. I have no worries as to neighbors or hitting anything. I have natural backstops, sort of like cliffs that fall away, and we can shoot into the side. It's just got everything, and we'll show it all as we go. We're going to flash back to earlier when we were out there. We first saw the property when there was snow on the ground and we could access everything, and there were no leaves on the trees, so we could see everything. Well, come spring, they plant the corn, and we'll flash back to when it's knee-high, 4th of July kind of thing with the corn, and we could still drive through or take our side-by-side back, and with the leaves down you could see topography of the property and all. And as summer went on, well, the corn is now 9 feet high, and I couldn't even get back on the property without destroying it. And of course, it's not my corn, it's the farmer that leases it, so I don't want to wreck it. When you got in the woods, the undergrowth, everything, leaved out, and couldn't see anything. I'm like, where was that area I was thinking about putting the pistol range? And yeah, so there was a time period where I couldn't get back there except using a neighbor's access to kind of get into the side of mine, and even then, with the side-by-side, it was hard. So as we progress toward putting a drive in, we're going down all the way down one side of a tree line, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute here. But I didn't want to wait for the crops to be done and harvested. It'd put us out too late. So the farmer said, why don't we green chop it? That way I can still get some use out of it, feed it to the cows, and you can put your road in. So we just did that, and you'll see that, and we can get to the back of the property where the house is going. We can see the wooded area, and where there's a food lot for deer right now. We're putting a barn there. I almost want to reconsider where we're putting the house because I put trail cams out. Guys, I've been in the woods 40 years. I've been hunting all my life. I've never seen one property with this many bucks consolidated into one area, and big bucks. There must be 7 to 10 huge bucks over 10 points. And then there's 4-corners, 6-pointers, 8-pointers, spikes, bumps. I have 10 bucks to every doe. It's usually the opposite, right? Maybe 7, 8, I don't know, but it's crazy. I'll try and get some video in here off the trail cams and all. Just trust me when I tell you, you won't believe it. But I hate to disturb them. I don't want them to move off to neighboring properties. However, ours is kind of on a wooded ridge that's the only woods in the area, so it just sucks everything in from miles around. And we've got turkeys, we've got everything. I haven't seen any coyotes yet. We don't want them, but I was kind of hoping for a couple so we could air condition them, so to speak. Then what you won't see in today's video is behind the wood lines there's another field that's like 15 acres onto itself. In one corner is this grassy hill. I call it my grassy knoll, and it's perfect to put a manufactured deer stand up, maybe on a tripod or something, with heat and windows and all that, and who knows. But anyhow, I just wanted to bring you this. We can finally get in and show you. Try and follow along. I'm going to flash back to some old video, then there'll be new stuff of us going in. and enjoy. And just know this is the very beginning. We'll bring you a lot more videos on picking the property. If you want to know, I know we're a firearms channel, but if you want to know about construction loans and all this other stuff, we can bring you videos on that. Oh, the puppies are crying. Oh, by the way, we're in the motorhome because we're homeless. So we're living in our motorhome while this is done. And the project probably won't finish till the spring. So we're going to hunker down in here for the winter. Hopefully get our barn up to put this in there. And it's going to be a long adventure. I got a range roughed out. We got everything brush hogged out, and you're gonna see it. So come on along and let's have some fun. Hey guys, welcome back to Rockford Ordnance. You might think, what the hell am I doing standing in a cornfield? Well, I'm out standing in my field. Okay, I'll give up the comedian thing. We are finally at the property, and I've had bits and pieces for you, and it was either too windy and wind noise, or it was raining, or Mrs. Rock was riding with me and bitching the whole way. I'm just kidding, she's here right now, along with the puppy. And well, we're finally at the point where we opened up the cornfield, because once the corn came up we couldn't get back in. So they green chopped this a little early. They'll feed it to the cows. And we're going to take you for a ride all the way back there, and then we'll make a right. House is going back there, and the barn's going back there, and all kinds of good stuff, and we'll show you. The other cool thing is, and I got to be quiet because the one neighbor is right here, but you won't believe the deer on my cams. You just won't believe these huge monster bucks. It's unreal, and we'll bring you those too. Anyhow, I look like crap. I'm bleeding all over, all cut up from brush hogging a little trail in to get the range going. So follow us, we're gonna have a good time. Let me show you here and see what you think. Hopefully the wind's not too bad, but take a look, let me know what you think. Alright, so before we show you the road that we've cut in here, thought we'd show you the property a little while back when the corn was kind of low. So that's the property border there, the tree line, and we've green chopped now along there to go all the way to the back corner there where the house is going to go back in the woods. You see in the middle there that little outcropping of trees. The property goes all the way across there, all the way to the right, and ends down that a ways. But really neat feature, all wooded in the back. Range is gonna kind of go in the trees here. A couple ranges actually. The cool thing about this property are these hills. It's hard to tell, but you can see how it rolls and it goes downhill and comes uphill and down again. So the cool thing is you can't see the house from the road. So anyone passing by, anybody nosy, never know we're there. They're just gonna see a nondescript little gravel road. And I thought about bringing it in right to the center clump of trees, the driveway, and kind of curve it around nice, but the hill was too big and couldn't really do it. What's behind the trees, I guess mostly on the far tree line there, behind it's another 12-acre field. It's got a high spot to put a deer stand on, kind of neat. But yeah, there we are at the road, and we'll bring you back there down the road we chopped, and you'll get a view from the back. So just kind of a quick overview of everything, and loving it. I wish we could have brought the road in here, but it would have just been a little too cost prohibitive, and I think plowing it would be hard with the hill, and although it would offer a nice windbreak with those trees where we wouldn't get drifting, I think it's better because we got to bring electricity back. Remember that. That's another huge cost. Alright, we're heading back, boys and girls. And we'll give you a narration on the way down. So here we go. We're going down right where the road is going to go. So called the farmer and he did what's called green chopping. So the corn's not ready to be harvested yet, but they cut it early and they chop it. They chop the stalks, the leaves, the ears, everything. They blow it into a trailer. They haul it to the farm. They blow it into the silos and they mix it with things like molasses and whatnot and feed it to the cows, so it doesn't go to waste. So nothing went to waste, and we're grateful to the farmer for doing that. You can tell we're going up the hill here, so you can't really see it from the road, but the elevation changes are cool and you won't be able to see the house from the road. There is a deer stand in this tree that previous owner or maybe just somebody in the area was hunting from. I'm going to put a note on it, see if anyone claims it, but if not, we'll use it or take it down. Now this is sort of where the drive will come to an end and go into the trees here, and the home will be set back in there. So that's just something they cut out to do a perk test, which we actually have to do another one, but it's going to be back in there. And then it drops downhill and overlooks, I think the next road's a few miles away, overlooks this other acreage we have back there, and it'll be a beautiful way to see a sunrise, sunset, all that. And we're going to continue the road along the back of the tree line here, all the way to this little entrance into a field surrounded with woods. I think either this was with the original homestead, maybe a pasture for animals, maybe a garden or something, or maybe later somebody developed it for a deer feedlot. You can see my camera on the tree there. That's the camera. I just randomly put it up there and wait till you see some of the pics of the bucks. We have not one or two. You know, most people have like 10 does for every buck. We have 10 bucks for every doe. So here's a recording from that same camera, and look at what we have here. I tried to pause them for a second, and that was a huge buck, but look what's following behind. You think it's a doe, but oh no, another nice buck. It's just absolutely amazing, and nighttime too on the camera. Pretty cool. They are huge and multiple 10, 12 pointers. We got a brush hog and brush hogged all this. It was cut at one point, but it overgrew over the summer. So we brush hogged this out, but this is really a cool field for hunting too. And our barn's going to go in that field. But this trail goes downhill. And I'll finish up here. You can hear it pretty good. Because our first range is going to be over here, probably a pistol range. And we'll get out and show you here. Alright, so we just got done brush hogging all this. This goes out into another cornfield and out toward the neighbor, but just kind of took you from the far west part of the property to the far east part of the property. This corn is 9 feet tall. You can't even see the road from here, but there's another piece of wood sticks all the way out. I don't know, can't even see the end of it. Anyhow, we brush hogged all this, and I think this is where we're going to put our pistol range. I'm guessing it's 50 yards. I don't know. I'm going to pace it off here, and I'll let you know in a minute. So, boys and girls, we got a 50-yard range here. Not too bad, and what you can't see there when the trees come down is we got a natural backstop from the hill there. It goes way up into there. So we might be able, we can for sure get 50, maybe 75, 100. I don't know. We'll see. And there's lots of other paths here. I got a brush hog like this one that's kind of overgrown. And there's some deer stands in here from previous owner. And as the leaves come down, we'll kind of explore a little more and see what we can find. It'll open it up. It's just hard to see. You can see through the reflection there. Who's that sitting there? Hello, honey. Why you gotta be so nice? What did my fans ever do to you? Nothing. They're very nice and they appreciate you.
I bet they do.
So guys, I hope you like that, and thanks so much for coming along on this little journey. There's many more videos to come. We're gonna bring you all kinds of good stuff, from starting on the house to the barn, and trails and ranges and shooting and all kinds of good stuff. And of course more on some of these deer and the other wildlife here. So again, thanks for coming along. Thanks for everything you do for the channel, and thanks for waiting for such a cool video. I hope you like it and find it as interesting as we do. And as always, Rockford Ordnance out.